Morning everyone, welcome to MAG Silver's presentation. I'd like to show this slide and talk about it. Since 2003, MAG has had a demonstrated history of turning forward-looking statements into facts. And in fact, we just did it again in March of this year when we announced a first ever north-south trending vein in the Fresnillo trend. Pretty tidy company, only 86 million shares on issue. $129 million of US cash on the balance sheet and no debt. We enjoy a lot of research coverage, despite the fact that it's highly unlikely that we need to go to the market for funding, but there's still a lot of analysts that love to cover this story because of the geological potential. And a blue chip shareholder listing, you can see there we're primarily institutionally held. This shows you a picture of the two portals into our most advanced project, the Juanicipio deposit. And it's a joint venture operated by Fresnillo PLC. And you can see there the 5x5 ramp going in there. Outstanding execution of gaining underground access to the ore body. So we've been around, as I said, since 2003, focused on high IRR projects. We're an exploration company. Silver is the focus in Mexico, but that comes with other metals, which really helps you on a financial basis. You can see there, Juanicipio, we own 44%, Fresnillo are 56% in the operator. It's an outstanding project. It's probably the highest grade undeveloped silver property in the world, now in construction and coming online in 2020. But we've only explored about 5% of the surface area of the joint venture. And we think we are still very much an exploration story. And you've seen the balance sheet, it's in great shape. This is the Fresnillo silver trend where the project is. On blue is the joint venture ground, nestled in against all of the holdings of Fresnillo around that. This is the most prolific silver district in the world. 1 of every 10 ounces of silver ever mined on the planet comes from this area. We've found about 300 million ounces of silver in that little blue patch from 5% of the surface area, and this is a forward-looking statement. We think that's probably going to increase. If we zoom in on the blue, this is where the action is. You see the red line in the top right-hand corner, that's the Valdecañas vein, and that's the engine driver for what the Juanicipio project is at the moment. Over to the right, you see the town of Fresnillo. 500 years of mining history here. Fresnillo themselves have been mining silver epithermal veins in this area for over 130 years. And it's a great advantage for MAG to be able to come in with such a magnificent asset and have it being built and operated by the world-class mine builders and development in their own front yard. This is a section of that red line that was Valdecañas at the top. Initially, we had the Bonanza Zone. We did a PEA on that in 2012. Outstanding project. And in 2015, we put 4 holes under that to just sterilise it. Like every one of those red lines on the previous slide, epithermal vein, they're 300 to 400 metres high. And then the mineralisation peters out. So we put our sterilisation drill program in, and we failed on that endeavour. We found what we call now the deep zone underneath that. And that's extraordinarily significant because that deep zone is a result of a fluid upwelling zone that has probably fed a lot of the mineralisation of that most prolific silver mineralised system on the planet. This shows you the resources we've found to date. All up, there's about 24 million tonnes. We're continuing to drill that deep zone. It's getting bigger. It's growing. There's, as I said, almost 300 million ounces of silver, over 1 million ounces of gold, over 1 billion pounds of lead, over 2 billion pounds of zinc, and over 100 million pounds of copper, and we just started. This shows the 2 PEAs, the first one on the Bonanza Zone done in 2012. Very robust, 44% after-tax IRR, or sorry, 43% after-tax IRR. You can see on the third last line there, it was a 2,650 tonne per day plant. As those 4 sterilisation holes hit the big deep zone underneath the Bonanza Zone, we recast the project size. It's now a 4,000 tonne per day operation. The mine life's gone out to 19 years, even though we expanded the capacity significantly. And even though the silver price dropped from 23 to 17.90, the IRR maintains a comparable 44% after-tax IRR. Extraordinary mining asset. This is where we're at. We've got access down to the mineralised horizons. We had to twin the ramps to make this a bigger production facility. That's all completed now. We're putting in mining stope access infrastructure underground, and we've commenced the construction of the surface facility, which you can see in the photo in the bottom left, with the crusher from underground coming up and daylighting right in front of the mills. This is just a 2D of the 3D shot. We've essentially built an underground mine here already. There's over 21 kilometres of development. We've got 3 vertical ramps now going along the complete strike length of the Bonanza Zone, and we're in a position now to open up stopes for trial mining at any time we want to. This is a video, if I can make it work. Oh yeah, here we go. So this shows the 2 portals. Zooming in that top right-hand corner of the joint venture ground, you can just see the outline there in the blue. Saucedo over the road is a continuation of the Valdecañas vein, and that is currently the largest silver producer in the world. There you see Valdecañas. As I said, the underground's down there. You can see the conveyor belt starting to head out towards some new land the joint venture has purchased for the plant site and tailings, because we understand this is going to get a lot bigger. As we continued to drill that deep zone, we found all these other mineralised structures within 80 to 100, 150 metres from where we're mining anyway, so extraordinarily high value. And as we drill this with depth, it continues to expand out, and our new success were those 2 veins you saw coming out from the plain there, the Venadas veins, north-south structures. I think that's going to be the next impetus for a explosion in discovered ounces on the property. That's the area off to the north of the joint venture with the plants going in. We love showing you the ramp, so we're going to show you a bunch of shots of that. That's going in for about half the price of what it would cost to put a 5x5 ramp in North America, and it's got a concrete floor. It's fully bolted and shotcreted. As I mentioned before, production late in 2020, and we're looking forward to that, because for the first time that's going to create a significant amount of cash flow for MAG Silver. And just to reinforce a point here, the real opportunity in MAG going forward now is we've absolutely confirmed that Valdecañas is sitting on top of a major fluid upwelling zone. What that means in this highly fractured system, any time that mineralisation occurred, those structures will be mineralised, and they're mineralised at significantly high grade. Our new learning, though, in the last couple of years as we got underground, analysed a lot of the assays we had from surface, was there are some potential mineralised structures that run north-south, not east-west like all those other red lines you see on this plan. All the lines on this plan look east-west because that's how they've looked for them for 500 years. We had some assay indicators, but a real giveaway was when we actually hit the structures with our underground development. And we found 2 of these. We actually think that there's probably a whole suite of these north-south structures on the property, and you can see them coming out here. The grey Venadas 1 and Venadas 2, it's continuous to the mineralisation of the Valdecañas vein. So you open these up, developing in ore. Fantastic value-adding opportunity. And we can't get away from that top right-hand corner. These are all the targets to the south that we still need to drill. Only 1 other upwelling zone's been found in the area. We believe there could be a few around this volcanic centre. So production 2020, high grade, but don't forget, still a fantastic exploration story. 11 seconds for a question. That's the first time I've ever finished one of your 10-minute talks in 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone.